Look at their team. They have tight end. They got wide receiver. Yeah. They got O-line. They got D-line. They got linebackers. I would say the most questionable aspect of that whole team is the secondary, and the secondary isn't that bad.
One thing we have to keep in mind is that, and we talked about it on the show,
but at the same time, it comes from two different points.
Then all of a sudden, you want to say, oh, well, you know.
I think for me, I don't know if I can speak for everybody else.
This is DeadEndSports.
DeadEndSports, man, we back with another episode. So, like I said, if you watch us from the beginning, you know, it's kind of like the pilot series. So, you know, we switching it up. We out here, Central Park, Atlanta, GA. We're coming to you with the most overrated quarterbacks in the upcoming NFL season.
All right, guys. We're talking overrated quarterbacks. Everybody knows that the quarterback position is the most important position in football, hands down. If you don't have a quarterback, you probably don't have a team. Now, there's a ton of quarterbacks. There's 32 quarterbacks out there. Some get a lot of hype. Some don't get enough hype. Some are overhyped. Some just aren't that good. And some are asked to lead these ball clubs to victory every Sunday. So I'll start with you first, Ralph. Give me the most overrated quarterback that you think that's in the NFL right now.
All right. My pick might be a little bit controversial because he hasn't even taken a snap.
Okay.
But I think, and before I even mention the name, I'm going to just give all my reasons.
Okay.
I think, first of all, the fan base, the expectation level is too high. You know, I've read a lot of the, you know, what the fans are saying. They think that within a couple of years they could bring him a championship. They think he should start from day one.
Okay.
This, that, and the third. And that's LeBron's boy, Johnny Manziel, man. I think that right now.
So you think the money team is overrated?
I think
Money Manziel.
Look, here's the thing. As a football player, I like him. I don't think that he's where everybody's putting him. So that's the reason why I think he's definitely overrated right now. Okay. Like, he hasn't even taken a snap. And I've read some articles and stuff like that where some fans are making, you know, some quotables talking about, yeah, you know, I think within a couple years he could lead us to a championship. I'm like, yo, here's the thing. I'm not hating on Johnny, but just being realistic, he doesn't have the greatest arm in the NFL, right? Then you're not playing in a dome. You're playing outdoors in Cleveland. It gets cold. You got, what lake is up there?
Lake Erie.
Lake Erie. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I lived in Chicago. I know the type of wind that comes off of them Great Lakes up there, man.
And you have to keep in mind the division that he's in.
The division that he's in?
Pittsburgh. Baltimore. Come on, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Cincinnati, yes.
Cincinnati. Look at all three of those defenses. Them boys don't play. The Ravens defense don't play no game. If a loading Nada get a beat on Johnny, he's 3 times the size of Johnny, and Johnny looks small out there. Now, I'm not saying he can't pull out no magic, because we've seen small quarterbacks do things. The latest, Russell Wilson. We've seen Drew Brees. But you know, Drew Brees is an elite quarterback, so I'm not even gonna put him there. But we've seen Doug Flutie make some magic. We've seen some smaller type quarterbacks do some things in the league. So I'm not discrediting the fact that he might be special.
I gotta challenge you a little bit, man.
Okay.
The man hasn't played a snap. So and I think you're judging him being overrated based on the fandom. So give me somebody else that has played a snap, that has at least a season. Give us somebody. Give us one person, man. Don't do. You know, I'm not the biggest Johnny Manziel fan, but don't do the brother like that. The brother hasn't even.
Sound like you a Johnny football fan, man.
Sound like his agent.
Give us somebody that's at least played a snap in the NFL.
And I give you that, Kevin. Do you think, as of right now, just everything that's surrounding Johnny, is he not overrated right now?
I think he's overhyped.
Okay.
You know, I don't think he's overrated. I think there's just a lot of hype behind him.
Because he hasn't played to be overrated.
Yeah. You got somebody? You got somebody that's played a snap?
I definitely got somebody.
I know you got somebody.
I definitely got somebody, because we didn't get to it on Blog Talk yesterday. We didn't get to it with that $116 million atrocious contract. Now here's the thing, man. Andy Dalton, like I said, I think he's a poor quarterback. I don't think he's the worst.
Right, and just because you're saying overrated doesn't mean you're saying he's like garbage.
Exactly.
Right. He's just not
He's
worth
saying
it.
he's
But
garbage.
I'm just saying he's not worth that contract to me.
Yeah.
He's definitely not worth the contract. So based on the contract, I think he's definitely overrated.
He has a 60% winning percentage in Cincinnati over Carson Palmer.
in the regular
over
playoffs.
Over
Wait a minute.
Carson
But that's
Palmer,
the stat that you just said. That's the regular season.
Come on,
not
man.
the playoffs.
But
He has
this is
played
the issue
poorly
I
in the
have with y'all,
playoffs.
because
Go ahead.
everybody want to sit here and go, oh, but he hadn't done anything in the postseason. Same thing that they're doing with Peyton Manning. You know what I'm saying? So everybody want to, Peyton Manning is the best regular season quarterback all the time. Why we got to put qualifiers on it?
But
the man wins games.
But you know
you
what?
have, but the
It's
part,
not just about winning though.
But
Ken,
man,
because
come
the
on, man,
quarterback
you gotta.
position is way deeper than that, bro.
Think about that.
Look,
How
you
many
have to
receivers
read.
don't even make the playoffs, dog.
But look, Ken. There's a lot of qualifying factors. The reason why I think that Andy Dalton is overrated and why he's not worth the contract. First of all, the arm talent is not that great. I can name 16 quarterbacks that are better in these qualifying areas.
16.
Arm talent, like just the IQ, pre-snap. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that go into playing quarterback, bro. And Andy Dalton is very par. Very par. I put you like this. Like Andy Dalton to me is not that much better than Jason Campbell at his height.
Wow.
Jason Campbell.
Wow. Wow.
What?
Wow.
Jason Campbell?
He just threw 500 yards on you.
Jason Campbell of all people?
Wow.
Come on, man. The guy produces on the field. And he's in his first 3 years in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken, somebody correct me, I don't have it in front of me. He's made the playoffs. He's made the playoffs.
So did Mark Sanchez.
He's made, but come on, man.
Sanchez went to the AFC.
Hey. Now you know Dalton is a better quarterback than Sanchez.
I can't say that, Ken, because look at Cincinnati's offense. Look at their team. They have tight end. They got wide receiver.
Yeah.
They got O-line. They got D-line. They got linebackers. I would say the most questionable aspect of that whole team is the secondary, and the secondary isn't that bad.
Yep.
Come on, man. That team, top to bottom, is arguably the most talented team in the NFL. And then when you look at more elite quarterbacks like Andrew Luck, who the hell is it outside of Reggie Wayne and T.Y.?
What do we say about players, about good players? They need good players around them. It's the same thing you've been saying about LeBron for years, and that we've all said. So yeah, he has good talent around him, and that leads to him winning. But I think you gotta have good talent around you to win.
And I agree with that, Ken, but my point is that you have to elevate. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you need a good team around you. That's my issue with Tony. And I think Tony's a better quarterback than Andy. But
he hasn't even made the playoff. He made the playoff once.
And I feel you, but look at the qualifiers that I gave you. I said arm talent, above, like shoulders, the IQ. There's 16 quarterbacks. I can name you 16 quarterbacks better.
We're in a different era when you have guys like Flacco and Matt Ryan that come into the league and have instant success, and then the successors, guys like RG3 who went to the playoffs his first year, Andrew Luck who went to the playoffs.
And didn't go, and Russell and RG3 didn't go last year. Oh, he was hurt.
So, but I mean,
and Russell Wilson rolled the back of Seattle.
He's
overrated. Yes.
Overrated?
Yes, he did ride the back of that Seattle defense and Marshawn Lynch. Don't sit here and act like he didn't do it.
So who's your most overrated quarterback?
Flacco. Joe Flacco is my overrated quarterback.
That's like an elephant in the room right there.
Yep, he's my most overrated
But I got
quarterback.
somebody besides him.
And I don't care if he won a Super Bowl, because he got lucky that DB made a mistake on that bomb.
Give you that.
All right, so
In the playoffs, he threw no interceptions. What do you mean that don't matter? What do you mean? Oh, come on, Ken.
Because he lost that game, Ralph. He lost that game. That DB got caught peeking. That's not Peyton Manning's fault, and Peyton Manning is penalized for it, and Joe Flacco is rewarded this lofty contract because of it. That game was lost. And everybody sitting here and everybody watching that show know that the Baltimore Ravens lost that game. It was defense just screwed up.
Okay, I'm gonna challenge you on that one. And here's my thing with Flacco. You can say what you want. Yeah, there was a fluke play where the guy missed the time in his jump or whatever like that. But I'll take you to the Super Bowl. Joe Flacco has I think it's like a 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1, and he calls an audible. He calls an audible to his receiver. It was supposed to be a run play. He calls it where the guy runs a fade, catches the ball. They turn it. That play with them getting the first down. What I'm saying is that to be an elite quarterback, you have to see those kind of moves and you have to make those kind of calls
Matthew
yourself.
Stafford did the same thing to beat Detroit.
But I'm talking about the
I can
Super
give you
Bowl.
a play.
This is the Super Bowl where everything's on the line. You have a running play call,
man.
you change it to a
He
pass
shouldn't
play.
even been in the Super Bowl. That's the point. The point is he should not have even been there.
But how you penalizing him for something that he didn't
Because
do?
I didn't think I thought he was overrated before he even got
And
the
I
Super
give you
Bowl.
that, but
And him
when
winning
you
the
go
Super
through a
Bowl,
whole
him
playoff-
winning the Super Bowl was everything that Joe Flacco lovers needed to say, oh, but he won the Super Bowl. Y'all want to throw that in my face.
I'm not calling Joe Flacco elite level, but he's better than Andy Dalton because his play recognition pre-snap and his arm talent is better than Andy's. It's better than Andy's, bruh. And to go through a whole playoff run with no interceptions, that's more than just having a good arm.
Right.
That's more than just having good wide receivers. That's more than just being lucky. Because it does take a little bit of luck, let's be honest.
Oh, no question.
It takes a little bit of luck. But it takes more preparation, it takes more IQ, and it takes more mental preparation than anything else, bro.
Let's throw it to B. B, who's your most overrated quarterback in the NFL right now?
Russell Wilson. Go ahead,
No. I think you might agree with me on this one, Ken, because I remember you said something about him before. Colin Kaepernick.
Yes.
I think Colin Kaepernick, when he shocked the world the year before and was balling, I don't know if I said this to one of y'all, but I was like, man, this dude is in the NFL. All it takes is for scouts to get film on him, and he gonna be exposed. And look what happened this past year. Only 1,600 passing yards, 9 passing touchdowns. Like, I think he was like 23rd or 24th in like the whole quarterback rating and stuff as far as his passing
was
yards.
hurt.
Huh?
Crabtree was hurt. I'm just saying.
But still, like
Crabtree was hurt.
He wasn't doing the same things he was doing, the year when he shocked everybody, because didn't nobody had no film on him. Nobody prepared for
But
him.
here's the thing too. Jim Harbaugh, he didn't run the same amount of read option because he was trying to protect Colin as well. Now let's be honest. Part of what made Colin great and part of what made RG3 great is that read option, because now.
And Russell Wilson.
But they didn't run read option that much in Seattle. They didn't run it the same way these other teams did. So let's be honest, right? Like that threat of that read option, man. I agree with you that he could be a little bit overrated because
they quoted him as like the quarterback of the future or whatever, and it was like
he's not a progression guy.
Once you dared him to throw,
yeah, and that's
exposed.
But he has the arm. So arm talent.
But he don't got what you got.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
The IQ.
The IQ.
He above the shoulders. He's definitely mediocre.
Yeah.
Definitely mediocre.
Yeah.
I can't even argue that.
Yep.
But arm talent and legs, he's up there. So to me, I still take Colin Kaepernick over Andy Dalton any day. Any day.
It always goes like Andy Dalton.
I'm just saying.
I wouldn't. Nah, because
that's my overrated QB right there. Colin Kaepernick.
No. Him being a dual threat gives him an advantage over Dalton because he's more athletic. But we saw, like B said, what happened when he was forced to throw the ball. He was exposed.
Yeah.
So, I'll give you Dalton. When I need somebody that can step back there and toss that.
But I give y'all, above the shoulders, he's not elite. But I give you
Seattle
that.
abused Peyton Manning.
Seattle abused almost everybody.
All right, so to answer your question, no, that's an easy answer.
And Colin Kaepernick is able to neutralize that.
Because of the
So how is that overrated?
Because of the athleticism.
But to me, that's not overrated because it doesn't matter what type of defense you put out there. Colin is going to impact the game.
Because he can't throw the ball, so he take off and run?
But he impacts the game.
I think what we're going to see, especially this year, because like B mentioned earlier, when teams get film on you, what they're going to do this year is they're going to sit back. They're not going to let him get outside the pocket. They're going to make him stay in the pocket. They're going to say, beat us with your arm. But that's harder. But that's for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Andy Dalton can do that. Andy Dalton can do that. And you guys know
during the regular season.
It doesn't matter. Andy Dalton is worth the contract because you can't find quarterbacks that can sit there and
Is
produce.
Andy Dalton the best quarterback in his division?
With
Flacco,
Pittsburgh. Come on, man. That's a tough division, and he's still going to the playoffs 3 years in a row with Pittsburgh, Baltimore.
But he has the best
Flacco.
team. But Cincinnati has the best overall team in that division. Yes or no?
He's going to the playoffs.
Because they have the best team, Ken.
All right, so fine. So
then he's overrated.
He's not overrated. How is he overrated if in that division, that tough division with Baltimore, Pittsburgh,
defenses.
and who else?
It's all defenses,
no
though.
offense, Cleveland, but
Defense has an amazing.
It does.
defense.
Baltimore has a defense, and so does Pittsburgh.
Exactly.
And he still wins. He still wins in that division, man. Y'all gotta give the man credit.
All right.
If you want to penalize the guy for his postseason record, fine. But find me many quarterbacks that can get me to the postseason.
You know how I'm gonna chop him down? I always chop him down. When you look at Andy Dalton's numbers against elite defenses, you know he threw more interceptions than touchdowns. So you know all of his touchdowns came against crappy teams, bro.
Don't worry about that, B.
Overrated.
He's still winning. He's still winning. He's still winning. Because I got his record. Over 60% winning percentage. He's the most winningest quarterback in Cincinnati history in 3 years.
I'm going to give you a couple of overrated quarterbacks that I think are overrated. Now, I try to quantify certain things by what you can do. For me, I'll give you a scenario. I look at a quarterback and say, okay, well, hey, if we got to go 80 yards, we're down 5, we got one timeout, minute 20 seconds left. Can you take me on that game-winning drive?
Not Andy.
You know, can you take me on that game-winning drive? The Peyton Mannings, the Tom Brady's, the Drew Breeses, the Aaron Rodgers, those guys, they earn their contracts, hands down. They can do that.
Even Eli.
But I think there's a drop off. And we talked about top five quarterbacks. I think there's a drop off after 5, 6, 7. After 4, there's a slight drop off. So that being said, a lot of quarterbacks, as I mentioned in the beginning, a lot of quarterbacks get a lot of hype. Some deserve the hype, some don't deserve the hype. Mine, I think Jay Cutler's overrated. I don't see and one of the problems I have with Jay Cutler, I don't see the leadership. Jay Cutler has the arm. He has one of the best arms in the league. Since Vanderbilt. He can sling it. And especially playing in a place like Chicago, you need that. Yep. He's got great receivers. He's got a dope running back. He's had a solid defense for the better part of the time that he's been there. But I don't see it in Jay Cutler. And everybody loves Jay Cutler. I don't see it in Jay Cutler. I think he's overrated. I think if you put him in that scenario,
that 2 minutes,
you put him in that a minute 20, you give him a minute 20, he's got to go 80 yards for 5, and he's down 5. I don't think Jay Cutler can get it done. I just don't.
You know what? I don't think he can, but I thought he did that a few times.
I mean, he has. I mean, every quarterback has done it. But I mean, can you do it on a consistent?
Can I believe in you?
Can I
in the NFC Championship or Super Bowl? And
that's what I'm saying.
Can you do it?
That's what I'm saying. In the NFC Championship game when they play against Green Bay.
And another overrated quarterback, I think. And I mean, Bill Parcells said it. He said, you guys gave it to him before he deserved it. Was Tony Romo. And I think, don't get me wrong, I think Tony Romo is a very good quarterback. If you look at his statistics, his statistics are right there. They're not up there with the Aaron Rodgers and the Peyton Mannings of the world, but he's right there. Statistically, he is there. But if the game is on the line, I don't trust Tony Romo.
I disagree with you.
Well, you can disagree all you want. I don't trust him. I don't trust him.
And I know he said the stats, statistically he's great. But on your scenario, 80 yards to go, need a score, Tony Romo in the fourth quarter turns it up, and he's done that. And the numbers back it up. And that's all they've been touting. They have some other issues,
right?
And that's why they don't win the games. As FIFO like to point out, Jerry Jones. I like to say Jason Garrett. Jerry Jones hired Jason Garrett, so fine.
Let's be honest. Let's not sugarcoat this.
He don't.
Look,
he don't really.
He don't get it done. Look, again, I'm not hating. I do think Tony Romo is a great quarterback, but I do think that he's slightly overrated because. Realistically, I don't even think he's overrated. I don't trust him. I don't trust him.
He said he's overrated.
He did say he's overrated, and I'm not going on that ship. I'm not jumping in that boat. But what I'm saying is, I definitely agree where I don't trust him. And to me, overrated means that you don't have like 3 things. You don't have the mentality, the makeup. You don't have the arm talent, and you just don't have that moxie. Tony Romo has 2 of the 3. He has the arm talent, he has moxie, but I don't trust him. Like the mentality in 2-minute drill, I don't trust him. He'll throw an interception, he'll get a fumble. He makes the big play for the other team.
Whoa, I disagree. His QB rating goes up in the fourth quarter, dog. Like he produces. Now, but he also has the most turnovers in the fourth quarter as well, right? I think if you want to say big games, I'll say big games, meaning big games, but on his scenario, when you need to win a game, I think there's a difference.
How do you judge?
No.
How
I
do
think
you
you can. I
judge?
think you can
Big
judge.
games.
You can judge by.
He hasn't been
You can judge by the
over 80
last
in the last
game.
couple years.
You can judge by the last game of the season when they failed to win the big game to go to the playoffs.
yeah.
That's how you judge. But prior to that, the other 15 or so games, when they need to score, they'll get it. But come on, man, we have to look at the order. I know they're 8-8. I know they're 8-8. I know they're 88. And that's why I say Andy Dalton deserves the contract.
I think
because he's not going 8-8.
If you look at just the word overrated, I'm thinking that means that there's a level of good. You're good.
Yeah.
Overrated means that people think you're a lot better than what you really are.
That's why I had
and that's why I say, so I'm not going to say Dalton's overrated because I don't think Dalton's good. But my point is, when I talk Romo, when I talk Cutler, these are guys that are on the cusp, but right there, in that tier, in the top 10 tier, I think Romo is a phenomenal talent. But like I said, if you put him in that scenario, he's not going to deliver.
Let's talk about Russell Wilson. I want to get to that, Kevin. Why do you say he's overrated?
Come on, man. This is easy, man. You already know he ate off that Seattle defense and Marshawn Lynch running the ball. It made everything easier for him, like it would do a lot of quarterbacks. I think if you take Russell Wilson and put him on another team, I don't think he'll be as produced that like he
let me ask you,
I think if you put Russell Wilson on Cincinnati, I don't think he's going to win games like that.
Let me ask you this: Can you get a 300? Okay, Peyton Manning and Tom Brady make their standard is probably like 300,
they don't
300 yards, 3 touchdowns.
They're superheroes. They're
okay, so let's say that's the standard: 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, and a win. Do you think Russell Wilson can do that?
No.
Do you think Colin Kaepernick can do that?
No. No, I don't.
Do you think Andy Dalton can do that?
I do. Yes, I do.
That's our top 5. Excuse me, that's not our top 5. That's our top overrated quarterbacks. He's wrong, definitely wrong.
I got Colin Kaepernick.
Give us yours. We'll see you in the comment section.